Welcome back to Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal. So now we're back here once again. Now that we have Knuckles, we can get some stuff in Seaside Beach.
Drill!
Yes, drill. But Knuckles' ability is literally the drill power-up.
That's a good game, Jovah.
Yeah, this is literally the drill power-up from Sonic Colors.
Oh my god.
There's literally no difference.
Pardon me if I
So
don't.
yeah, ladies and
the
gentlemen,
writers knew what they were doing. So
Knuckles has officially
would
become...
be able to dig anyway.
Knuckles has officially become a wisp.
But Knuckles could dig at one point anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, Knuckles has been able to do that drinking stuff.
Yeah, exactly, so you shouldn't need a power-up to do it, just like Tails doesn't need whirlwinds to fly.
Yeah, I mean, it made sense when Sonic needed those to do it because, you know, he's Sonic. Yeah, I mean, with Knuckles, it's pretty much a funny thing. You look for a hole and that's where you dig in through.
So yeah, everybody, now that all 4 party members are available, you saw me getting those extra trinkets that I couldn't unlock them, but now that we saw that, now we're going back to the map and keep moving forward.
Thankfully, when you have party members
here,
now, I don't think you really need to backtrack anymore now that you've got them all unlocked.
Yeah, well, there is going to be the matter of certain trinkets that I missed the first time because, well, yeah.
Oh yeah, execution basing and all that, but I mean, like, well, the only time I really was pissed off at that was how, you know, they forced you to go back to stuff like the first stage where you clearly couldn't get that stuff, and that would be fine if it weren't, you know, a prerequisite to get into certain levels. It's like, that's stickish.
Anyway, the only real major difference from this worm tunnel and the last one is the fact that there's these blue blocks sometimes that you have to boost to destroy, but aside from that, there's really... Even the game prompts you when it happens anyway, so don't worry, just keep going.
So, it's now the time we can talk about some off-topic stuff, or is there anything else on top to say about the game at the moment?
Alright, hey, Jovah, are you perchance getting bored of this game?
Well, it's not so much boredom, it's like, oh, this is literally one of those games where it's better to play than to watch, because at least when you're playing, you have the exhilaration of having to pay attention to stuff, and these sections are fine, but when you're just watching... Oh man.
But this
like,
game isn't even fun to play, let alone watch.
Well, some people find it fun to play, and more power to them, and I guess, like I said, I haven't really played it myself. In fact, I never really bought the game.
Anyway, well, okay, there is one thing we can talk about.
I pre-ordered it, so...
Well, I guess you're preparing for the sequel then?
I'll wait until I hear a bit more on this.
She's waiting, since I'm getting it day one, she's waiting for me to tell her. Right, Shiroi?
Yeah.
Alright then. Anyway, there is one thing we can talk about which is not entirely off topic, which is, might as well, basically everybody expect a commentary on the anniversary party.
Oh yeah!
Oh yes, you actually over that we'd be doing that.
Yeah, Jovah will be joining. It will be me, Shiroi, and Jovah.
Yep.
Unless for some reason I can't make it that day, but yeah, I plan to.
Well, me and Pedro will be doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
Might as well. Kind of like me and Teo did Uncovered, because nobody else could have.
Then me and Dwip's old suit.
Okay, so that was the worm tunnel. Cutscene, I think. Oh, no, never mind then.
Well, I have something Sonic related that's not really on the topic of this game.
Go ahead.
Go on.
Going on what you were saying when we were doing Uncharted about Sonic 06 being tame in comparison to a lot of other games we've done. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Like, during, at some point during a few videos me and Pedro were watching the other day, I had more praises for Sonic 06, even if they were only the one.
And it's not just us, actually, because even SSM... I mean, now that I think about it, even a lot of Sonic sites, including SSMB, seem to be really settling down about Sonic 06. I mean, okay.
Well, not really. No, that's not really a news.
Old now, and a lot
yeah,
happened over
the only
10
people
years.
who still harp on Sonic 06 to that point are the critics. Because the critics are still pretending like Sonic 06 was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's like, and even looking back at it, Sonic 06 at its core, while fundamentally flawed in some cases, did have a lot of good ideas behind it. I mean, heck, they were running off of Sonic Adventure 1, which itself is a good game. Bad aging aside.
Alright, cutscene. I recovered some more files from Amy's logs. Never mind the fact that they're completely pointless and tell us nothing. Let's read them.
How can you do something that complicated while you're busy trashing robots?
Let me guess, multitasking. Well, you know, multitasking. I also balanced my checkbook, invented a car that can circle the earth, and I have a jar of kosher pickles. It's funny because...
Cannon Contact, it was fine enough when you did the stick in Lost World without running it into the ground.
I got a recipe for an organic quiche that's gonna rock your socks off. I trashed some robots!
Yes. Yes, you did, Knuckles. That's very nice too, Knuckles. Let's hear what Amy has to say.
Go ahead, Shiroi.
Okay. Amazing discovery. Crystal shard, just the beginning. Unlimited power.
Unlimited power!
It's over 9,000.
Why do I get the feeling that was actually a sneak reference to that movie?
Looks like she was broadcasting from the other side of this canyon. How can you tell that?
A cannon full of death traps and enemies?
Oh, come on, Sonic. This is like business as usual for you. You had me at a canyon full of death traps and enemies.
Next line.
This isn't... where's the real Knuckles?
No, seriously, that should have been Sonic's line. I mean, Sonic's the one who adores danger and all.
Yeah.
Glad we're all on the same page.
Anyway, yeah, one more unfunny cutscene aside. Why are we even bothering to read all of these Amy logs that don't tell us anything useful?
Yeah, I mean, they're supposedly using these as clues to figure out where she went.
I mean, for as redundant as the explaining that Eggman is up to something in Colors were with the various alien translations, they at least led to something.
And to be fair, it was like, what? Like 2 cutscenes that established Eggman's up to something, and then after that...
Actually, Jovah, there were plenty of them, but, well, I'll get...
Yeah, because I've seen now.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that when we do that game.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean, as you've seen now, Shiroi? I mean, surely you played Sonic Colors when it came out.
No, she has, but I recently showed her the scenes, because she didn't remember, basically, how many of them were. Anyway...
Well, that's the thing about Sonic Colors. Well, then that's the thing about Sonic Colors. It may have been redundant, but it's not really remembered for being redundant because, well, they obviously must have done a better job with the script there because, well...
Most of the people remember Sonic Colors for its gameplay.
Well, some people remember it for being the best Ken and Pontek story, and, of course, the no copyright in the world will stop me joke.
Yes, it created a meme.
And the Eggman...
At a time when YouTube was really in the shitter.
Actually wasn't really a meme so much as it was a part of a trend. And honestly, considering how but that stuff like soap, that stuff was actually warmly welcome.
The problem, of course, is that...
And yes, folks, I dig the humor of Sonic Colors, fight me.
The problem with the problem is that Ken, Pontek, and Graf haven't done anything good since that.
Actually, why am I saying bite me? A lot of people do like Sonic Colors' writing. However, after Sonic Colors, well, okay, Generations wasn't so much their fault since it's actually been well documented that was actually Sega explicitly saying, okay, we're gonna chop up like 75% of your story because, I honestly don't know the logic behind that. But yeah, I mean, Generations, a great anniversary game, but not only was it short, the story was so paper thin. Well, that's not to say I didn't enjoy some of the writing of it. It was chock full of Easter eggs and whatnot here and there. It's kind of a Crash to Insanity case where it was great, but it could have been so much more. Although, to be fair, Crash to Insanity felt more full from the get-go. And really only feels flimsy in retrospect. Shiroi, you got anything to say?
This tea's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to this.
Mr. Jack is handling this.
Anyway, everybody, you might have noticed how we're in a new world, the Shadow Canyon. This is the part where I usually tell you what specifically makes this level unique from the others. But like I said, there's literally nothing in this level. Actually, we already had rails in the previous world, Jovah.
No. But don't you get it, Pedro? What's different about this is the emphasis on grinding.
Oh, so we have more grind rails than the previous world. That automatically makes this level unique.
Rail Canyon syndrome, everybody.
Honestly, I'll still take Rail Canyon over there, because at least Rail Canyon is fast and kind of exciting.
Well, I agree, and I freaking love Bullet Station, which has everything.
Bullet Station is actually, like, people say Rail Canyon had too much rails in it, which it did, but Bullet Station had the perfect combination of the regular platforming stuff and the rails, I think.
And Bullet Station had an awesome track to go with it too. Not to say rail.
It's actually worse. I actually found it worse when they did it in Lost World, because in Lost World, having suddenly an underwater rail grinding level in a volcano world. What the fuck? How does this even what?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say the grinding was done actually better, ironically, in the 3DS version of Lost World.
I love speeding through Rail Canyon and Bullet Station.
Me too. Unless I'm playing Team Chaotix, in which case, why am I playing Team Chaotix?
I action that with a 10-foot pole.
Team Chaotix, quite possibly the biggest one thing that kind of... Well, okay, it's usually one of the highest criticisms people talk about when bringing up Sonic Heroes.
My biggest criticism is the fact that the game is repetitive as all hell, because I have to play basically the game 4 times to finish it.
Admittedly, when you play between Team Sonic and Team Dark, it is different because Team Dark tends to have elongated versions of the level. And okay, technically Team Rose, but this is literally the easy mode. Yeah. They do tweak the difficulty and sometimes the arrangement of the levels. But Team Rose honestly is really simply just easy mode.
I don't see why they couldn't have done what they did in Sonic Adventure and just have, like, the goal at the end of the stories is ultimately the same, but the journey is different.
Yeah, Sonic Adventure definitely had that sort of thing down pat.
And also the levels shouldn't be too long. They should be in between the length of Team Rose Sonic's levels. No more, no less.
Goes back to the ADD nature of Sonic Team throughout the last 15 years.
Thankfully, they finally remembered it by Sonic Colors. Not to say Sonic Unleashed didn't have its fair shares,
and yet Sonic Lost World brought a completely new gameplay style, despite the fact that nobody asked for it.
Yeah, although admittedly, I can see why they might have ditched certain aspects of Romeo. I don't think they should have gotten rid of it altogether. In fact, if anything, I think it would have been great if they'd gone for more a combination of Lost World and Generations. Well, you know, or the Boost era, because the Boost era did have its flaws. And yeah, I mean, Lost World did have some promises, but yeah, they changed way too much. Also, it didn't help that a lot of the levels in Lost World were kind of...
Okay. It's like I actually had this conversation in the Status Updates with Gabe yesterday on SSMB. The Sonic gameplay for Sonic Adventure 1 was a very solid and dependable foundation that should have been more expanded upon. Like, for example, to give a parallel example, Super Mario 64 nowadays does show its age. It's still a pretty good game, I think, but it does show its age. But even people who think Super Mario 64 aged badly, they don't mind it so much because, well, the sequels, Sunshine and Galaxy especially, refined the core gameplay of 64 so much and expanded upon it so well that, you know, people see it as kind of the start. It was basically the first, and the other sequels refined it. You know, kind of like with Uncharted did the same thing. Yeah. But Sonic Team decided to be...
sometimes consider Galaxy different a bit from the 64 era because of the way gameplay works. I mean, don't get me wrong. 64 is kind of similar to... it's mainly similar to Galaxy, but Galaxy functions a bit more like, the 2D Mario games were in 3D, and then the 3D Land and 3D World games took that to pretty much its conclusion. I mean, they're similar in that you can do 3D world, however, the level aspects and designs did kind of alter between 64 up to the Galaxy 3D world era. When it comes to
that's
Sonic,
basically what you do. Yeah,
Go
that's basically what you do with franchises like these. You find a dependable direction and you expand upon it. But Sonic Team decided to be fucking idiots and just overhaul the gameplay every fucking game.
Well, not every game, because like, well,
oh.
okay, when it comes to Sonic and, you know, the likes of Sonic and Shadow, their gameplay was pretty much kept similar between Adventure 1 and Adventure 2. Heck, even Heroes, for all the stuff it changes, when you're playing as the speed formation, does function a lot like the adventure games. It's just a matter of it being slippery and what platform you're playing, because, okay, you could go from as well-refined as, say, the GameCube Heroes to, well, the slippery is all fudge PS2 version. But yeah, regardless of that, Sonic Heroes for the most part function like Adventure, just with 3 swappable characters. It's Sonic 06 that, from what seems to be generally agreed, Sonic 06 seems to have been the main reason that they ditched that formula, because Sonic 06 at the time was considered hot garbage, and, well, basically to get
it's not even if
Sonic again, apparently they changed up Sonic Unleashed, which originally didn't have that design in mind. In fact, Sonic Unleashed was going to be the actual Sonic Adventure 3, yes, after Sonic 06, and apparently it was mainly going to be about Sonic, Knuckles. There's rumors that Chaos Zero was supposed to come back, hence the stretchy Werehog stuff. But yeah, from what I can gather, Sonic 06 was so bad that Sega did everything in their power to pretty much distance themselves from anything remotely related to that. And the sad thing is that Sonic 06 was so dog-hearted to be the next Sonic Adventure that, well, it took so much from Adventure that, well, a lot of people attribute Adventure 1 to Sonic 06.
If they took more time with it and didn't rush it, it could have been amazing, because you can see the potential there.
Oh yeah, just look at the trailers. I mean, heck, even some of the demos actually play nicely.
I don't know, honestly. Like I've said, I honestly don't see the whole. Oh, if they were allowed to finish the game would have been a brilliant thing. The story would have been shit. I mean, the only way that story could have worked.
Yeah, but I mean,
well,
on. When it comes to Sonic stories, how good are most?
Well, yeah, the story would have still been shit, and honestly, there are a lot of things in that game that require a complete redo.
Here's the thing, Pedro. It's like, well, a lot of the idiotic game design actually came from the rush development, believe it or not. So when it comes to people saying that it could have been a better game, I actually see where they're coming from, because from what's been shown and revealed, a lot of the bad game design and boneheaded idiotic decisions did come from the rushing of it. I mean, just look at stuff like...
I would like to remind everybody that we're 10 minutes into this thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Jim Sterling said it best in his Sonic Gloom video. The reason Sonic's quality has been so inconsistent over the years is because whenever it does have a great game, Sega never capitalizes on it and instead decides to completely overhaul everything again.
I watched that video recently, actually.
To be fair, when it came, honestly, I'd say that stuff has only really happened once, not counting spin-offs, because, like, okay, they overhauled the gameplay for, you know, the Boost era when they were transferring over to that, and then the second time was, of course, overhauling over the Lost World. Other than that, they've never really had any big changes. I mean, heck, Adventure 1 is literally playing a classic Sonic game, Homing Attack in 3D. I mean, aside from that, there's never really been that much a big change in the formula.
It's not just a matter of that, Joe, but the problem is that before Iizuka came along, after Unleashed and Black Knight, there was no one single visionary, and I'm putting visionary in quotations because I honestly I don't really see Iizuka as a visionary, but that's a topic for another.
He's a visionary, alright, if stuff like Shadow the Hedgehog and Knight's Journey into Dreams is anything to go off.
I like Journey of Dreams. But whatever.
Me too.
Anyway, I know you did. It's just that I'm saying it to the audience. Anyway, in fact, there you go. I'll take a cue from Jovah right now. Yeah, I like Journey of Dreams. Bite me. Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, it's because before Iizuka came along, and Iizuka is not the visionary the series needs. So there was no. Even Iizuka himself said this in an interview that before he came about and took over Sonic Team. Pretty much everybody in the company was basically doing their own interpretation of how Sonic should play and feel like. And see, Iizuka himself literally admits right there that the series was a fucking mess before he took over in terms of its identity.
Yeah, when it comes to Iizuka...
I mean, the problem is twofold.
When it comes to Bazooka, I actually like the guy. I mean, I know some people don't generally like him, but honestly, for the stuff he's done, he did help the series get back on its feet and, you know, actually get things together.
Yeah, the problem is that... Yeah, the problem is that, yes, it's true, we got better gameplay as a result, but did we really need to sacrifice the lore and the personalities of the characters?
We haven't really done that either. I mean, it's like I said,
well, actually, they have a lot.
Come on, Knuckles isn't even Knuckles isn't even Knuckles anymore. I'm not even talking about Boom Knuckles. I'm talking about the regular Knuckles. Like really. Let me ask you one thing, Jovah. What's the difference between Lost World Knuckles and Boom Knuckles exactly?
The fact that Boom has more screen time, of course.
Yeah, but it's not. But in terms of personality, in terms of personality, what's the, like if you're gonna have Sonic Boom where Knuckles is a moron, doesn't it make sense for Knuckles to become the lone guardian he's supposed to be in the main series? Because if you're gonna make him the dumb one in the main series too, then what's the point of? Doesn't that make the fact that you have two continuities redundant?
They didn't really make him dumb in Lost World. What they did was barely give him and Amy screen time. Heck, he barely even spoke in Lost World.
Minnie Mouse.
Yeah. And you know what's sad is, like, well, honestly, I don't find him that dumb in Boom. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's by no means the sharpest knife in
No, but that's different. I mean, in Boom, he's supposed...
When it comes to show Boom, he actually does show a nice three-dimensional character in parts where...
I don't mind him in Boom.
Ironically.
I don't mind him in Boom because, well, that's a different continuity.
I'm not saying that to you specifically. I'm just saying it's like, well, the ironic thing is like, well, I actually don't find him that dumb in Boom, so if anything, he's serving that purpose better in Boom at the moment. Granted,
except for that moment in Rise of Lyric where he can't tell left from right.
Yeah, that's a bit far.
And even Jovah literally went in our playthrough, and I'm quoting, "Oh, god damn it, Knuckles is not that dumb."
I've been saying that throughout.
Although I guess I might be able to attribute that to Rise of Lyric's writing because, as we've established, the connection at that point wasn't very good between the show and the games, now was it?
It's still not very good.
It's gotten better somewhat, and at first we thought Rise of Lyric was the continuation, but now I'm not sure because they're making a sequel to this 3DS game, so maybe they're just gonna try and make everyone forget Rise of Lyric exists. Does anyone but me think that there were a lot of robots and death traps and stuff out there?
Too much action for you to handle, Sonic?
Ha! As if. No, I'm just saying something big must be going on if there's so many...
Hey, I see somebody... Oh god, here we go. I see somebody ahead, hiding in the shadows.
It's Shadow! Well, at least it was just
And there's your irony.
And you ruined the joke.
Puns are not irony. Irony is when something with a clear purpose accidentally causes the opposite, like an ambulance hitting a pedestrian or a fireman burning a house down.
You know, I don't always agree with Roger, but this is definitely one I was on with him on. I mean, you know...
Thank you, Roger. And yes, Shiroi, that's Roger and Luke themselves.
And you know, the real bad thing about the... Okay, even if it was irony, pointing out your own joke does not guarantee a laugh.
In fact, that kind of sounds desperate if you ask me. Get it? I'm funny! I'm funny! Please laugh at me! Please laugh at my joke!
If you have to, like, okay, if
you have to explain the joke, then it's not a joke!
You failed at telling it.
I mean, I know I may get shot for this, but honestly, if the joke had just been them saying it's Shadow coming out of the shadows, I might have actually just been fine with that joke. I mean, yeah, it may
It would have fallen flat, but that would have been better than pointing it out.
Also, the place is called Shadow Canyons. You didn't think of a joke relating to that? Because it kind of seems like the only reason you call it Shadow Canyons, I mean, the place doesn't exactly look shadowy.
You know, since Boom is already a comedy in itself anyway, can we have the next main game be an action, a more balanced tone, an action-adventure story? Because I'm getting a bit tired of comedy, honestly.
Well, honestly, when it comes to Lost World, they actually did balance the comedy out with serious stuff. The main issue with that was the way the story was
a lot of the comedy in Lost World was actually funny.
Yeah, but
yeah, that too.
Yeah, but can we have more like?
It's like I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Can we have? But what I'm wanting, Job, is something akin to the story of Black Knight, because Black Knight still has the best Sonic story, if you ask me.
It's a very good adaptation.
like, you know, the sad thing is, I think Lost World could have been that again if they had actually finished the story out to the end, because they've gone on record to say that they themselves got rushed with the story.
You might,
for Lost World.
in fact, Jovah, since you're usually knowledgeable about these things, is Shiro Morikawa still working at Sega? For those who don't know, Shiro Morikawa was the writer of the adventure games Sonic and the Secret Rings and Sonic and the Black Knight.
I don't really know. Although from what I hear lately, the main series may be taking from the English one first and then making the story.
It's because even though I do have problems with Shiro Morikawa's writing, he at least knew the characters.
It's like I said, Ken and Pontiac were kind of actually on a roll with Lost World. It's just, it all fell apart at the end. And sadly, I mean, okay, a lot of those scenes do feel like they could be from different scenes, but it could have worked if they had all pieced it and tied it all together at the end. Sad thing is, they rushed the story, and that led to that mess of an ending, which was lame.
That and the fact that Knuckles was, well, not Knuckles, that and the fact that Tails was horribly and insulting to me out of character.
I'll say.
Yeah, he finally hit puberty.
Yeah. But anywho, back to Knuckles. When it comes to Knuckles and, you know, even Amy, because she got, like, what, 3 scenes in Lost World. When it comes to, like, Knuckles and Amy, I don't attribute to that so much more as they're getting rid of the lore, so much as them trying to appease the fans that say Sonic and his stupid friends, because really, that's
at this
really
point, honestly, at this point, Sega should. Again, I actually saw someone on the internet specifically saying, and I'm quoting, so I'm going to quote, "Don't listen to the critics. They're not the ones buying the games. We are."
Yeah, I mean,
now,
honestly,
when it comes to Sonic games specifically, I've said it before, but it was a long time ago. I don't trust
it's a similar thing.
what most critics say about Sonic games because they're so still hung up about Sonic 06.
It's one of the main reasons why I'm such a huge fan.
Sonic related as a piece of crap.
It's one of the main reasons why I'm such a fan. It's one of the main reasons why I'm such a huge fan of the Tales of series, because the Tales of series, even today, despite being cutscene, I think, isn't it? Oh, never mind.
That reminds me, Pedro, a question. Was Jim Sterling actually working as an official critic when he did Sonic Colors? Because, oh boy, his Sonic Colors review is one of his most infamous ones, because even I have to agree that review was stupid and just not true. I mean, getting accused in the game of having lag on a Wii game of all things.
Hold on.
Hello, Shadow. I see you've come out of the shadows.
Punch him,
We had
Shadow.
to repeat that
Punch
joke.
him.
We literally had to repeat. There are no shadows.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
It's a joke. Your name is Shadow. Hiding in the shadows. Get it? It's funny. You are talking like a robot. Wait, now I am talking like a robot.
This isn't funny.
Will someone get William Shatner in to show how you do it?
Whatever you have for us in a few days better be good, Sega.
You will bear. How do you know what I mean? How do you know what I'm doing? Do you know where Amy is?
That face, by the way. That's Sonic.
I know, that's so dumb.
Your destruction is inevitable. You will not stop.
Is this a contest of who can act the worst?
Challenge accepted.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, what I was saying was that's the main reason why I'm such a huge fan of the Tales of series, because the Tales of series, despite being a great series in general, especially nowadays, because the most recent Tales of games have been fantastic, especially Xillia 2, Ingris's F.
What about that one bad one, though, that even you said was,
Zestiria. I like Zestiria, honestly. I don't see what people's problem with Zestiria is. But anyway, that's...
I recall there was one that you said had serious glitches up the wazoo and just wasn't...
Tales of Zestiria, yeah. There was a... well, the thing is, they fixed it for the localized versions. Basically, the localized versions were supposed to come out 6 months later, but they delayed it so they could polish it. Basically, in a similar way that the original Sonic Adventure in Japan also was glitched, but they fixed it in time for the Western release. Anyway, what I was saying was, you see, because the Tales series gets constantly accused by critics of being derivative, cliche, you know, and just overall just being a rehash, every game being just the same thing, even though as Theo and me constantly keep saying that's, honestly, how many Tales games have you played? But that's a topic for another day. We'll get to that when we get to those games. But yeah, those games get all at best they get a mixed reaction from critics. At best, there's never an actual. There's no such thing as a Tales. The last Tales game that was critically acclaimed was Tales of Vesperia back in 2008. So no.
What about the one?
But the thing is, the thing is, the Tales team doesn't even care so much about critics. They just because the fans, the actual fans who come to their, because there's the Tales of Festival, you know, the various conventions they make. Because Hideo Baba, the series producer, he himself said that he cares more about what the fans think of the games rather than the critics, and because again, they're, like I said, they're the ones buying the games, not the critics.
Fans are usually better at thinking objectively than paid critics are, which is sad.
Not to mention the fact that when it comes to stuff like games, I mean, if a lot of the fans do like it, and well, you know, is it really that much up to the critics to decide how stuff goes?
Well, the thing that's what I'm wondering about Sonic Team right now. Sonic Team nowadays seems so afraid of critical reception nowadays.
To be fair,
hold on, cutscene.
Going to
An actual CG cutscene.
Hey, he's coming around. Should we knock him out again?
No.
We raced him and that somehow knocked him out.
What's going on?
That's what we want to know. Why'd you attack us? Where's Amy?
Back off. You're more annoying than usual.
Oh, trust me, Shadow, I know.
Making sense.
Wow, that's pretty much Shadow Crystal's script summed up.
I don't work for anyone. What is this?
This thing's scrapped now, but it's clearly some advanced tech. Like a mini...
Technobabble.
A mind control device.
Oh, hey, Lyric.
Lyric.
Oh god, I hate the line that's coming now.
Safe. For the moment, we're having the most delightful conversation. Why don't you come here and face me? I'm far too busy peeling.
You guys still there, by the way?
Layers of Amy's
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm just letting the audience listen.
Sure. I'll have the power of a god, and I'll grind you all under my heel.
You don't have any feet. Oh!
You're a snake.
Lyric is a snake. They don't have legs.
Yep.
Evil chicken legs. All smashed out.
There are no evil chicken hands, that's Knuckles.
Chicken legs can't be evil.
Fine. Evil chicken hands then. Chickens don't have hand sticks.
It's funny how Roger actually had a video for Shadow Crystal, but he was actually seemingly okay with Rise of Lyric.
He said that, he said inside that the story to him in Rise of Lyric is just not even easy to make fun of, it's just boring. To him, at least.
I
Well,
actually
he
don't
was
agree
one
with
of
it,
the. I don't know if he feels this way now, but he was one of the few people who preferred Lost World 3DS over Wii U.
Well, the thing is, he didn't even the Wii U. He played the 3DS version way before the Wii U version, so he had plenty of time to get used to it anyway. Anyway, everybody, see you for the next part. Well, hopefully less jokes will. What am I talking about? The script is nothing but jokes, bad ones. See everybody for the next part.
See ya.